You can't please anyone, it seems like, but that's okay. I had one of the most up and down experiences of my gambling life, of my sports fan life, Brian.
What's that?
Because you know me, what do I want? What did I want more than anything in the world? What did I long for, dream for, pray for?
Patricia's head on a platter or something like that.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
I wanted Matt Patricia fired. I didn't like him from day one. I knew he'd be a bad hire. And you know what? I found out the news as I was going to my first Zoom funeral. I'm waiting to enter the room. It's loading up. And I just get a congrats text. I get another congrats text. Boom, boom, boom. Buzz, buzz, buzz. My phone is vibrating like it's one of my girlfriend's devices. And I just can't. I've been waiting for this so long.
Wow.
I was so happy about it. So I had to just put on a straight face for the Zoom funeral. And like, I was there to support some friends. I was there to listen and take part in some decent anecdotes. But although it was a very sad affair, I was beaming on the inside because Matt Patricia had been vanquished by the powerful Deshaun Watson. Love that guy. I donated the winnings of my bets this Sunday to Deshaun's charity. I was so grateful.
Oh my God. What a whirlwind to be sad at a funeral, but also happy on the inside.
Yeah. And you know what? At the funeral, I think it could have been my funeral because all they talked about was how much this dude loved Prince and loved his favorite football team.
Joel.
Yeah.
That's you. Oh boy. Okay. That's you. Wow. This is what a weekend, sir. That is hats off to you.
Well, this is crazy because it was on Saturday and I was like, you know what? He's a big Vikings fan. And I put in a relatively large bet on the Vikings money line in Deshaun's honor.
And?
Well, did you see that game?
Yeah.
They should have lost so many times. They lost it on the muff punt. They lost it on the field goal. And then they miraculously got ahead. You know, Kirk Cousins, he found Chad Beebe in the end zone, vindicating him for the previous muffed punt, but they left too much time on the clock. They got the ball. They got to the 50. They got to the 40, and they set up either the first or second best kicker in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too hyperbolic. I have Zane Gonzalez and Joey Sly. They're at the top of my list. And Joey, he kicks from 54. I've seen him make this kick from outdoors many times, and it's straight on line. And then old Deshaun comes down from heaven. He blows it off course. The kick misses. The Vikings win. I win my bet. And you know what? I told the family I'm a Greer for the year, and it is great to be a Greer. Thank you, Deshaun, for coming down from heaven, winning it was mystical. I couldn't believe it.
What? This sounds like a fever dream. It just sounds like just a miracle on 34th Street, really, for you.
I mean, there was definitely some mysticism there because the Vikings winning any game without Dalvin Cook, you know, there's going to be divine intervention there.
Yeah. Wow. Joel, hats off for an interesting weekend.
Well, I mean, I told you I've got a gambling story you're going to enjoy, and that's about as wholesome as it gets, right?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Wholesome? Is that the word we're using for that?
Why is it bad? Someone helped the Vikings win from heaven so I could win $60. It was the money line, so I would have lost a lot. But, you know.
Well, the angel came down and took care of you. But wow.
I think he just cared about the Vikings. He didn't care about me. He didn't care about my wager, but they did the entire thing with a Vikings backdrop. It looked like a press conference for the Vikings at the funeral.
Oh my goodness.
And, just given that if I was emotionally affected, I felt no choice but to throw down. It was my way of honoring him. Like I don't even want to say it, but if you were to depart, I'd be betting on the Browns for a long time.
Thank you, sir. I love that. Because I'll come down from heaven and watch a game or two. Well, all the games. And yeah, I'm making people miss a lot of field goals. So that's fine.
Yeah, and that's the deal for divine intervention. Like Angels in the outfield, they went too far, making outfielders mess up, making pitches, hit bats. That's the right kind of divine intervention.
That's it. That's it. That's what you want, baby.
Slide lines up. It's snapped. The hold is good. He kicks. Hits up and. So it was a nice win. I literally, I felt him with me there, and thank you to him. Thank you to the Vikings. And you know what? Maybe I had a gambling event that made me believe in God. There were plenty of sports events this weekend that kind of show that there is no God. And I'm talking about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. And something seemed real fishy with this.
What do you mean? I mean, first, they shouldn't be fighting at all. And I don't know what type of boxing angel should have came down and said, like, we're not going to fight. Okay? We're going to have a good dinner in the boxing ring, and that's it.
And something looked very fishy with that line. Roy Jones being a prohibitive underdog when he'd been active more recently, when he's someone who was renowned more for his footwork than his raw power like Tyson.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the fight. I was driving around looking at Christmas lights with my lovely fiance.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I had a real Brian weekend. And, but, nobody won that fight. Like, because it was a draw and a sketchy draw at that, any bet you place down, it stays in the casino.
That's so much bullshit, man. You know that this was going to happen from the jump. No one is knocking an old man out. Everyone's just going to stay, and we're going to have a good time. And they fleeced everybody.
I wonder if that's how they pitched the idea to the WBC. It's like, hey, I know you guys can't sanction this fight.
Yeah.
What if we use this to buy a beach house?
You like that? Everyone wins.
Everybody wins, my friend, because nobody wins in that fight. And I didn't see any odds on the Nate Robinson, Jake Paul thing. Can I just say that I think Nate Robinson is being unfairly maligned?
What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, Nate Robinson got knocked out by a YouTuber, a podcaster, a celebrity, whatever. I mean, sure, let's throw the resumes out, and one guy has an 8-inch reach advantage on the other guy. There's no shame in that, Nate.
Hey, Nate, hey. Nate has always been someone that's been having, it's like, oh, he's too small for the NBA, and he had that, I can do it. Yeah, it's just, yes, he did. The memes are terrible. Like the memes are so bad. I saw one with Simba. Like Simba after just like, Nate, are you okay? Nate, did you wake up? Nate, it was just so bad. Like, leave Nate Robinson alone. He can dunk on you, so shut up.
Yeah, and even Steph Curry's getting into the mix, clowning on poor Nate. And
that I'm done with Steph Curry now. How dare you?
Well, you were never a Steph Curry fan. Don't act like
that. And that is correct. And now I am out. Sorry, Stephon Curry, you're not my friend. Shark Tank, I'm out. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand that thinking. He's got a little bit too much attitude for the old Bry guy.
No, I don't like it. Don't take your Drake type of personality and serve it up your pooper, Stephon.
You think Steph has a Drake personality?
Yeah, I think he's Drake. Yeah, you see, as a black man, I'm seeing the light-skinned black guys try to think they're Steph Curry or Drake. So together, Steph thinks he's super Drake, and that's upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, I would go with the Clay Drake comparison because we're going to have a lot of memories made of Clay in a wheelchair, similar to Drake, but that's okay.
No,
the way you go there.
No.
That was a Degrassi reference for anyone who wasn't watching a lot of teenage television in the 90s and early 2000s, my friend. Drake had a great run, probably his best run in my book.
Oh my God.
But I'm a big Sean guy. What can I say? Anyhow, so before I digressed from the Matt Patricia thing, because I'm so excited.
You're too excited.
And there are odds about the next Lions coach. Will you click on that link for me?
Yeah.
We have next Lions coach, the heavy hitters, the favorites, Robert Salah, who is from my same hometown of Dearborn, Michigan. He is a Muslim from East Dearborn, which, I grew up in East Dearborn. I know what his hiring would mean to the community. I hate it.
You hate it.
It's a great story. It's a wonderful, thing for the community. And I can just imagine how galvanized they'll be around it. But just looking at what the 49ers do on their defensive scheme, I have no reason to expect him to be a good head coach. There's so much talent in San Francisco, specifically on their defensive line, and they just rush 4. And if you got a Bosa and you're rushing 4, that's all you really need, right? The scheme are very vanilla because they're so talented.
Yeah, I don't like when I heard people like, "Oh, we're going Soleil." I'm like, why? Why do you need this?
Well, I do think the Lions are at a point where they need to do something to reach out to the fans. I think people what's crazy with the Patricia hiring is how angry people were at him. I've never seen ex-players be so pissed, so happy when a guy lost his job. We had people around the league coming out with their anecdotes, and this is on the trail of a great Bleacher Report article that we've talked about here previously about Patricia's behaviors, and stuff from Ashawn Robinson saying that Patricia was going to ruin his career, Travis Fulgham getting cut and then making the Pro Bowl less than a year later in Philadelphia, probably. And then Darius Slay. It is probably 25 to 30 guys came out and they were joyous at this firing.
And that's totally true. My question is, why do you want a head coach that's probably going to be in that same vein as Patricia, this defensive coordinator, and when he's on the 49ers sideline, he's doing push-ups and just doing squats. That's not what you want. You need to change this culture here so that it doesn't seem like it's a military zone.
And that's why the person who I like for the job, the person who really speaks to me about a great potential hire, and this harkens back to our Wild Wednesday with Eli Sayers. We did great this week. We went 5-1, and Eli changed his pick. He told me, we spent Thanksgiving together, and he told me, hey, I like Iowa State over Texas, and Iowa State is for real.
Yeah, I was advocating for Iowa State, if I recall correctly. And so to see it, boom.
And that guy, Matt Campbell, after the game, he gave this quote, and this is what I want out of a head coach. In a nutshell, he's like, Texas, they have a great program, but at Iowa State, we have a great culture.
That's it. That shows you right there. That's someone that understands that your players have to buy in. So sorry,
Yeah. And culture goes everywhere. And we try and cultivate that at the Props Network. We're getting shut down. We're not just firing up a laptop. We're not just logging into Zoom. We're
zooming
the same old show because we care and we've been put in a position where we know it's important to care. So I want Matt Campbell to do that for the Detroit Lions. He's a 12-1 underdog.
Whoa.
And I'm falling in love.
My goodness. So you want a college head coach to come in and switch it up? I mean, hey, that's a bold, if you look at the Panthers, the people are like, all right, well, it's kind of working out. They're not the best and they're still being competitive.
It's exactly the same as the Panthers hiring. I've really liked all the decisions from a big picture sense the Panthers have made this year.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't want a college coach. I want this college coach, if that makes sense. Like Lincoln Riley, I could see him succeeding if he gets the right talent at the quarterback position, if he has the right left tackle there already. Looking at New York Jets. But for a team where it's just like the attitude is the thing that's off, I think Matt Campbell is the guy I want for that job. Maybe I could be talked into art. There are a lot of good guys on this list, but the top of this list is terrifying. If you look at the favorites for the Lions coaching job, Robert Saleh, no. Eric Bieniemy, he's got to go to the Chargers. Like,
Yeah.
Put that in. Like, that's the best job available. He's the candidate available. It's a perfect marriage. Lincoln Riley, I don't know. And then we have Jim Harbaugh. No. Kellen Moore. No. Darrell Bevel. Nah. Byron Leftwich. Hell no. I will say I had a lot of fun in college. Every week I would edit Byron Leftwich's Wikipedia to say he was the first quarterback to wear loafers on the field.
Leave him alone. You leave the pride of Marshall alone. All right.
You don't think that's a believable bit? Like, you can imagine, like, that's a good bit because you can imagine Byron Leftwich suiting up, lining up behind center,
ready to set,
sporting a pair of Cole Haan.
Oh yeah, I could see the rep being like, "Hey, your zipper's down." Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. And it you know what? That's who I want. And we've got a really fun episode. We'll get through it. But before we do that, I just want to say that BetMGM Sportsbook is live for legal betting in Colorado, Indiana, New Jersey, West Virginia, Tennessee, and coming soon to Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Michigan. Go Blue. BetMGM Sportsbook is the outstanding online sports betting experience you would expect from the MGM Resorts brand. They have a beautiful site and beautiful mobile app and the best live dealer casino action, which even pre-COVID times, if you go to a casino in New York, you don't even get live dealer casino action. You get screwy video boards. And they have great odds in every sport and a ton, and I mean a ton, of amazing weekly promos like the Money Monday Club that pays every BetMGM player a free $10 bet every Monday. Plus, for a limited time, BetMGM has a special signing bonus for our listeners. All you have to do is create a new account at BetMGM and use code WALKON20 to get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. That's right. Just enter code WALKON20 and up to a $500 bonus bankroll is yours at BetMGM. Cue it up. Are we ready? Must be 21 or older to bet online. Do you or somebody you know have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. That was good.
That was really great.
So I don't know if he's on the line.
Yes, he is.
So we've got a good friend here. He's getting a master's of data science at Vanderbilt before that. And I mean, he even still is. He's one of the best stand-ups in the friggin' country. This guy, he's better than me. Will you admit that, Brian?
Yes.
Great stand-up. Great guy. And I think we're going to have a little argument here because there's a COVID Bowl tomorrow.
COVID Bowl.
The Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers were supposed to be the feather in the cap of the American Thanksgiving this year. It was disrupted. It was delayed. And then it was delayed again. So what was going to be played Tuesday is now being played Wednesday. And here to talk me out of a bet on the Ravens is our good friend Don Sengstack.
Welcome. Hello, Joel. How we doing?
We're doing good. We're in the kitchen. Chef Joel firing on all cylinders. We got all sorts of chaos here.
Oh, yeah. There's all sorts of chaos everywhere. I've been very excited to watch my Ravens lose to COVID and the Steelers at some point.
And I know you've been like very down on the Ravens this season, and I keep trying to talk you out of it, you know?
There's at this point, I don't know how it could get worse. So I guess it's going to go up from here. But we currently have 32 players from the opening day roster who will not be available in this game.
Oh my goodness.
32?
Yeah.
And follow-up question, is that a lot?
That is more than enough. And one of them is the reigning MVP.
Matt Stafford?
No. I know last season.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Stafford, right? Everyone knew those 3 wins. They won 3 times with him. They lost 10 times without him. That's the most valuables right in there. So Stafford got my vote last year, and yes, I do have a vote, and he's gotten it every single year.
Yeah, that's good, Joel. Yeah, but oh man, I didn't know it was 32. I saw a headline that they want to do a wildcat strike. Why is it called wildcat when that's what you want to do on offense? That's not a good strike name for that. That's so good.
It could. I think it could work. We'll see. Here's the thing, too, is there is precedent for this game and this Ravens lineup that they're going to try out on offense. Week 17 of last year, the Ravens had locked up the number 1 seed and played Pittsburgh, and they rested all of their starters. So who was the starting quarterback in that game?
RG3. Yeah.
Who was the starting running back in that game? Gus Edwards. It's going to be Gus Edwards on Tuesday. Who's the backup? Justice Hill. Going to be Justice Hill on Tuesday. And guess what the Ravens did to Pittsburgh in Week 17 last year?
Pooped on them.
28-10, Baltimore.
And here's what I'm saying. I'm saying this line might be crazy. It was at 10 before it got taken down and rescheduled again. And now, in light of the shellacking that the Broncos experienced at the hands of the Saints, and I think we could see this. If this line's over 14, I don't really see a reason not to back Baltimore. Because don't get me wrong, if Willie Snead's out with COVID, I think that wide receiver group improves.
Here's the other thing, too. It's mostly on offense. As far as starters go, the COVID injuries are on offense. And the splits from that game last year that the Ravens won 28-10 when RG3 was the starting quarterback, guess how many yards he threw?
63.
He threw 98.
Okay, so under 100, not a lot of throwing. And they're going to be bleeding clock. I know their offensive line isn't to the status. Like, that's the real problem. Like, honestly, I give Lamar a pass on this entire season.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not ready. There's some people in the comments who are screaming, "Give Trace McSorley a chance," and I'm not there yet.
No,
I don't think I'll ever get there.
Why are we giving him a pass?
Because you lose one Hall of Fame offensive lineman to retirement. You lose an all-pro left tackle, the second most important position in football for the year. And you couple that with the worst receiving group in the NFL, which I think Baltimore has. I don't see a lot of things helping Lamar in this situation.
Okay.
He has missed some throws and made some bad decisions. I will say that he is regressing, but I give him a pass for that. I'm not, I would be insane to give up on Lamar after one crazy, awful COVID year.
This would be an asterisk for sure if we're going to blame the offensive line. But like Donnie, as you were saying, like he's missed. I've seen missed a lot of good throws. So if you have time and you're still doing that, I can't blame it on the offensive line, and that's on him, and that's okay. When you have such an amazing year, we see it all the time. That second year, like, oh, okay, we know how to keep him in the pocket. Yeah. And then we're going to just let him beat us with his arm. And that for sure happens. And that's where he just has to get better at that.
Oh, yeah. No, he does have a lot to work on, and he's got to get healthy first. Let's get him through the coronavirus.
COVID, Trump for that vaccine. You're going to get it.
Trust Fauci.
But you know what? I do think that a high-powered offense regressing year to year is almost to be expected. We saw it with the Rams and Sean McVay last year. Now we're seeing it with the Ravens and Greg Roman. It's kind of like all these bad things I think would be a blessing in disguise. I've got a couple things to help you out with. First of all, Greg Roman, I guarantee you he will be your offensive coordinator next year, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
No longer on that head coaching interview list. He's going to be in Balti with Harbaugh, enjoying that stable, well-run Baltimore organization. So that's a plus for Baltimore. And I'm buying on this franchise long-term because they develop defenders.
Yeah, we do. We develop defenders. And speaking of defenders, our defense is, for the most part, intact and will be intact for this game on Tuesday. or Wednesday or whenever.
Well, here's the other good thing. Maybe you want to have that offense and that defense hang out, because if this game gets canceled, it could be the best thing to happen to the Ravens. Because, Brian, do you know this?
What?
If a game that has meaningful implications cannot be played, the playoff field in both the NFC and AFC, it automatically expands to 8 teams instead of the already expanded 7.
Yes, please.
Right.
This guarantees my Browns.
That's exactly where the Ravens are right now in the AFC wildcard.
Yeah.
They are the 8th seed. They're on the outside looking in.
Wow. Okay.
Today.
I'm digging that. That's going to be – I feel like that's bad for them if they get that 8th spot and it actually happens, because they have to play a little bit more football.
They have to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Probably. Wait, Joel, if that happens, does it get rid of the bye week entirely? I'm not clear on that.
I don't know the bye week implications because the plan isn't formally set up, but I imagine they would get the Chiefs in round 1. They'd take away all the buys.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't need to give the Chiefs the first one. They're weird.
I wouldn't put it past John Harbaugh, though, to break the rules in his favor. He does that. He's one of those guys who's famous for taking a safety at the end of every game. And, like, he told all 11 players to hold while the clock ran out so the game would end that one time in Cincinnati.
Right.
Like, he will do this. He's going to do this. If
Harbaugh is watching right now. He's got a Google alert for Baltimore strategies. And you know what? He's mailing Lamar's tissues to Marlon Humphrey as we speak.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be interesting. If they can beat Pittsburgh, it's gonna be I think it's just great for the conference.
Also, this is a win-win for Ravens fans in this situation, let alone if you're in my position. If the Ravens were to go out and lose, we say it's COVID, who cares? We were a shell of a team. If we go out and beat the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers with no player, oh baby, that is for an eternity.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
And why do we bet? We bet to make money. Sure, but at the end of the day, we're betting for fun, and the Ravens in this game is, in my view, one of the most fun bets on the NFL calendar thus far.
And we're reverting back to RG3's a rookie year with Washington. It could be that, you know?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to root for that?
Yeah.
Well, so it's going to be cool because I get to watch Akron Zips and then the Baltimore Ravens. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Welcome to the MAC, Baltimore Ravens. And
if just think if the Baltimore Ravens were in the MAC, like it would be like 200-0, and it would be very upsetting. People would get hurt a lot.
Oh yeah, it'd be like Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to see. There's going to be enough sickness in both sides. We're just going to see Buffalo and Baltimore, not the Bills.
Yeah,
about the Buffalo Bills, maybe. We're talking Madison versus the NFL. Only a couple teams can play on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Oh well, at least everyone in the MAC didn't make history for trotting out a female kicker and then losing 41-0.
And here's
fun to watch.
Donnie, I don't want to tell tales out of school, but you know I'm soon to be a married man, and I live vicariously through young Vera. What's the word?
Vera. I'm not sure if you want to finish the sentence. I don't know.
I live through Donnie. All I want is for him to go on a date with the lady kicker.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. They did make a point to show her boyfriend in the stands during the game.
That's so cute. I love that.
All 4 quarters of that game, and Vanderbilt never got across the 50. They should have put her in on defense. Like at what point do you just not let her play whatever? You
just gotta let her kick. I don't give a shit where you are.
Yeah.
Like if you're 60 yards deep, hey,
I thought it was
you need to make some history.
Not take 4 knees at the end of that game and let her just try a field goal.
Just try. Like, come on.
Yeah.
41-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's Vanderbilt football for you. And this was just a chalk weekend in the NCAA. So
Huge shock weekend.
let's pivot since you're just a good all-around betting guy. I know
Mhm.
you cost me some money on the Premier League today. Thank you.
But
But
made you some last week on the Champions League. Thank you very much.
yeah, it was
Aha, take that, Joel.
It's the Donnie equilibrium. I can't get anything past this, man. Which programs do you like in a big picture sense moving forward?
I mean, big picture sense going towards the playoff.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, you and me. I don't know if you've brought it up on the pod, but that Clemson Notre Dame rematch is going to be one of the best betting opportunities of the entire year.
Yeah, I mean, I bang that drum every week. I live to bet on Clemson in that game.
Mhm.
There are rare opportunities in this world in investing in Microsoft early, buying first Big Mac, betting on Clemson in the Notre Dame rematch is one of them.
What? Your Big Mac? You got a Big Mac for the first time?
I'm saying you're part of history. These are rare opportunities. Clemson's one of them. I got down the line and I didn't want to do two stock references back to back.
Okay. All right. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Clemson is the best team in college football, and I don't think it's particularly close. The Ohio State defense has some question marks so far this year.
Ohio State's not there. If Indiana doesn't throw that pick six, that game at least goes to overtime, and it's way closer.
And we talk about how programs like the Ravens, they could benefit from a COVID cancellation. If Ohio State has one more game canceled, they are barred from winning the Big Ten. They're absolutely disqualified. And congratulations, Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
and I hate that because Ohio State fans will be like, well, we couldn't do it. It's not, we didn't, we're still the Ohio State. I'm like, get out of here. You've lost. All right.
Plus, it has been fun. Like the first COVID cancellation for Ohio State was because Maryland got COVID.
Right.
So Maryland, they unseated the presumptive national champion.
Yes, they did.
Oh, so that's what you do. So you just say, hey, I got COVID, sorry. And that's how you can circumvent the champs. I like that. Good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and people are so scared of COVID. They're not asking for proof. If you say, I have COVID, no one's being like, let me see the test.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Michigan, my alma mater. So is it your alma mater if you currently attend? God,
no.
Okay.
School. I would call it a school.
My school.
My school, yeah.
Yeah, so all you have to do, Michigan, if you really want to beat Ohio State, and I know you do, I know Harbaugh's and it's a Harbaugh involved. So Michigan is going to fake the COVID, and they're going to take down Ohio State that way. They will forfeit the game, but force Ohio State to forfeit the Big Ten.
Love it. I want this.
And Joel, how do you feel about Michigan -4 with the Terps coming to town on Saturday?
Terps money line all day, baby.
Absolutely. We did have most of our skill positions out last week because of COVID, so Talia Tagovailoa had nobody to throw to. And if they all come back this week, Michigan's done. Like, that could be a 20-point win for the Terps.
Yeah, there's just a level of quit in football teams, and I think, Michigan and Penn State, they played for one of them was going to bounce back and maybe be a little frisky the rest of the year. Michigan lost pretty easily to Penn State, and I think they're dead, and I think they're stuck with Harbaugh in perpetuity. So the only thing he can have is Hail Mary, the one that he was dropped at the end of the 94 AFC title game. He's going to complete it when Joe Milton, when everybody, they report COVID symptoms, and they give the Big Ten championship to Indiana.
Go Hoosiers.
And one last question for you, Donnie. I know you follow college football very closely. I know you write a wonderful blog picking all the games every week. It's one blog, but it's like 12 blogs. So I don't know what to call it.
We got Iowa State last week, too. We got that one right.
Yeah, you have a great track record. That's why I tease you. I know you're good. But how big is the drop-off between Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and then Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. Oh, I thought you were going to say Kyle Trask. Because I think Kyle Trask should be up there with those two in every conversation. as far as Zach Wilson goes, it's small sample size, and he is playing defenses that are just nowhere near the quality of the defenses that that Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence are playing. And that's the biggest difference. I don't think BYU is going to make the college football playoff. I think they sit behind Cincinnati, who has a better strength of schedule than a team like BYU. If all those teams go undefeated, Coastal, BYU, Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati sits atop of all of them because they're miles better. But Zach Wilson's great. I mean, he is great, but we don't have a measuring stick this year because he's playing Western Kentucky, and I know Trevor Lawrence is playing Pitt, schools like Pitt, and schools who have future pros on the opposing defenses.
Yeah, and when Patricia was fired, my focus immediately went straight to the NFL draft, and I know we passed on Justin Herbert, and now we're looking for a quarterback in the draft. And I mean, anytime you can get the 64th best starting corner in the league, you got to pick him third overall. But I'm seeing Wilson mocked in top 5, so I had to get your opinion. Yeah, top 5 in the draft, pretty consistently too.
Is he over Trask, or are people taking him before?
Yeah, he's over Trask, and then Trey Lance, who is from North Dakota, and he's sitting out this year. He's mocked in the top 15.
And I have Trask right behind Fields and Lawrence.
Well, Trask is interesting given Josh Allen's success and given Roethlisberger's success, because Trask is huge.
Yes.
6'5", 240, and then pretty accurate arm.
He's massive, but he could have he could very easily be a Roethlisberger. He could be, a Josh, but he could be a Dwayne Haskins, because we really haven't seen him play all that much college football. We've seen him go out and dominate when he has played, but his sample size is nowhere near what Roethlisberger's was or what Josh Allen's was. When they played.
Yeah, so you can basically hold all opinions of Kyle Trask. You're going to know everything you need to know in that SEC championship game versus Alabama. That'll
be him playing against pros, and we'll absolutely see where he should go in the draft. And right now, I think it's 3. I don't think we'll see anything to change that in the Alabama SEC championship game.
Yeah, and it's really killing me. It's really keeping me up at night. This is considered the best cornerback draft in 10 years. There's 4 corners mocked to the top 10. There's so many great secondary prospects, and we took Jeff Okudah 3rd overall. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, massive bummer, but I do like Florida minus 17 at Tennessee on Saturday. Fade both Tennessee teams if you can, because Vanderbilt and UT are going to both be destroyed on Saturday.
Okay, I'm there. I'll vet it with Eli on Wednesday. Hey, thank you for coming by. I'm going to be all over the Ravens on Wednesday or Friday or on the solstice or whatever.
This could be the win of the century. Let's go.
Hey,
it could also be the win of next century. We have no idea when this
Donnie thinks deck, folks. Nobody does it better.
Thanks, Donnie.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Boom. So you know what we do? We're the Props Network, and we're the place where bets begin. My kitchen. No, the Props Network isn't a sports book. It's where smart bettors and new players go before the sports book. Why? Because the Props Network has a few things that all bettors need: exclusive sign-up bonuses, reporting on weekly promos, free betting picks, and live odds comparison for every football game. A visit to thepropsnetwork.com before placing a bet guarantees that you'll be wagering with the best available bonus and getting the biggest possible payout when your bets hit. This week at the Props Network, you will get $30 free bets, no deposit required from Unibet. You will get 4 risk-free bets up to $1,000 at PointsBet with code BONUSPROPS, and up to a $1,000 signing bonus from DraftKings Sportsbook. You can get all of these and more at thepropsnetwork.com. Must be 21 or older to bet online. Do you or someone you know have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Boom. We're back. Bry guy.
Boom, shakalaka. Good read.
New Cleveland Cavs jerseys looking pretty sharp. I like them.
Yeah. They kind of remind me of the Brooklyn Nets jerseys of last year, but I'll take it.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Cool. The Brooklyn Nets are cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
I was just hoping you'd pontificate because I needed to drink some water, and I was like, man, he'll have a big opinion on.
No, because I just give me the old jerseys. All right, give me the Mark Price ones. Let's just stick to those. Those are beautiful, and those are the ones that when LeBron had on, we're like, okay, yeah, this is the team. This is who we are. So let's go back to that.
Let's go back to that. And every Monday on the Walk On, we do our NFL roundup. We go through the past weeks and we tell what we learned. So let's start with our FOMO report.
FOMO report. Ta-da.
We need a drop for that. You generally need a soundboard. I think that would be very fulfilling for you.
Yeah, I like that.
The FOMO report, front office management operations report.
Ta-da.
So let's start. Who did a good job this week?
I'm saying that this is kind of tough. This is a weird one to say a good thing, but when the Browns played the Jags yesterday, I saw a lot of good things out of the Jags. Like, they're defensive wise, they are there, and they've been in multiple games with talented teams. So to write them off as like tanking for Trevor, it's like, no, like they just their quarterback position sucks. You had Mike Glennon. I love Mike Glennon from Mike Glennon. He is awful, and if he just made a couple more throws, they are in that game, and we probably would have lost to a Jags team that only has 2 wins if they won. I really like them.
Yeah, the Jags, they've had such a respectable tank. They won week 1, let everyone know we're capable of doing this. We made Phil Rivers look like a fool. But then they're just like, we'll lose these games. We'll be competitive. Our young guys will develop on the playing field. And they're not winning games. But the product week to week has been consistently respectable.
Yeah, and that's what's surprising. I was thinking I was going to just see a team that would give up. You would see those players. You can see how they mope after a play where it's like, well, it should have been that guy. It's his fault. I didn't see that. I saw a team was like, okay, I want to win. I was like, this is great. Like I just hope that they can get that quarterback. I know we were talking a couple weeks ago about Justin Fields. Justin Fields would transform that team.
Absolutely. And I kind of think Justin Fields would transform any team. I'd have my opinion of him. But in general, Doug Marrone has done a pretty good job with an awful situation. And the talent level is not high. This is a team that's on the same level of like the Lions and the Jets, and look at how many first-round draft picks since 2013 are still on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Not many. So they fired the GM in season, Dave Caldwell. You hate to see a Caldwell get fired, don't you?
Yeah, you just don't like it.
Okay, so we don't want to. We'll talk a little bit more about the Jags going forward. My FOMO report. You got to give credit to the San Francisco 49ers. Just consistently, they're so hurt this year, and that doesn't change a thing. They still have the Rams number. For you to have a monopoly on a division foe that just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and with Nick Mullins, with no George Kittle, like it's a pretty impressive thing.
Yeah, no, and that was it was a very sloppy game. But I think that's when one of the magic of the divisional games. You just get people coming out and throwing slobber knockers around. And I really enjoyed that game. It's just when you have Debo was back, Richard Sherman was back, Mozart was back, Peyton doing musical things and running the ball, Renaissance man. So it was really, that's just Kyle Shanahan being like, okay, if you just give me one good receiver, I can beat you.
Yeah, and I understand that. All the credit in the world to Kyle Shanahan. And like the 49ers, they don't have stars. It's a team full of football players. A guy like Debo Samuel, he exemplifies the character of that team. He's going to run routes. He's going to block. He's going to get the ball in gadget plays. Whatever the team does, they're going to put him in a position to succeed, and he's going to do it to the best of his abilities. And they're really challenged. After that game, they didn't get to celebrate. They found out that they had been banned from playing in their home stadium.
We're going to Arizona.
And that was my COVID chapter, actually. I got sent to Arizona. I had to be there. I didn't know how long I was going to be there, but I was going to be in Arizona. So 49ers, I relate to you. And if we talk about the Ravens and we talk about bets that will be fun to make, who's going to the playoffs could be a fun bet to make right now.
Whoa, you should come on, man. Get out of here.
What?
There is no way they're going to pull it off when you have the Rams and Seahawks at the top and the Cardinals. Come on. I mean, that's a cute. It's a cute little bet, but I mean, it just ain't gonna work out for you.
Yeah, but I'm just imagining that this happens in a scenario right now with there being 7 seeds. The Cardinals are a game ahead of them. The Cardinals are a good matchup with the Niners because the Cardinals are Kyler's just somehow better against good pass rushes than the ones, and they're kind of tied for the Vikings for that illustrious eight spot in the NFL. Gosh, I guess my takeaway from this episode is that I really want there to be an 8 seed in the NFL.
Yeah, you really wanted to pull this thing, so it kind of just everything turns on their head. But hey, I'll let you bet on that on your own. But I don't see it, my friend. I don't see it.
So who did a bad job here?
The Chicago Bears.
Why?
Because whenever you pull and you bring back, okay, we're gonna bench Mitch, right? We're gonna bench him, and it's like, okay, he's done. Then Nick Foles, the man that's gonna come on his horse and save Chicago, didn't happen. And then you're gonna let's bring back Mitch, and then he's shittier. Like you did this wrong. Most of the time when you bring back that quarterback is gonna throw for 700 yards, 7 touchdowns, and also chug a beer after scoring this 5th touchdown. Didn't happen.
Yeah, when a quarterback is benched, I expect them to really meditate on what they're really missing from the game. And you could tell that Mitch missed throwing into triple coverage. He lives for it.
He lives for it, and it's so bad. Like, you did not fix Mitch. You had all this time, and you didn't fix him. And that's just Matt Nagy, bad. I wanted to slap him on the wrist. Bad. That was no good.
Matt Nagy is done in Chicago. Bears fans saw this coming. I watch on Sundays with a good Bears fans. We make soup. We watch the games. We dish. And he hates this Bears team. He's always hated this Bears team. And Matt Nagy is the reason why. You know, we saw in that division, Patricia's brought in to coach defense. He can't coach defense. Nagy's supposed to be a play caller and an offensive
mind. Yes.
And it's some of the most milquetoast play calling ever. The route trees those receivers run, like it's
garbage. And this really stems from them not really understanding what they need from the running back position. They have just fumbled that whole thing. And to expect for Tank Cohen to be your guy, like, come on, get some more. If you're going to go receiving backs, get a lot of them and then figure it out. Don't get 10 tight ends and expect you're going to find this diamond in the rough. You need running backs. Yeah. So then you have your young quarterback or veteran quarterback that doesn't know too much about the offense. Hey, let me give you this running back that can help you succeed. I don't think so.
Yeah, and I think the problem with the Bears is they pick a player in the draft and they slot him into the position they'll be playing. And it was with Mitch. It's like, oh, this is our quarterback. He's going to be their quarterback. And the same thing is with David Montgomery. David Montgomery was a good prospect. He wasn't a great one. Nope. But from day one, they're like, oh, he's our starting back. And he's not really shown any starting back abilities through his entire – and like nobody even has a starting back. He's the only starting running back in the NFL. He's the bell cow in Chicago. He hasn't justified it at all. They're so imaginative with it.
Right. Because they even last year they were like, okay, Jordan Howard's not that good. They were expecting something else. Did you do anything to fix that? No.
No.
It's just so bad that who do you expect on that team offensively to step up? I really don't see it. Yes, your receivers are there. That was kind of the feel-good story at the end of the season. Allen Robinson's doing good. Everyone's coming back. It was like, okay, but can you still run the ball? Because yeah, you could pass on time, but if you can't run the ball, we've seen it before. It's just no good.
Yeah, and I love their receivers coach, Michael Furry, who is very involved with the receivers development. He had one of the more interesting NFL careers. I don't know if you remember him at all, Brian, right? He was a defensive back, and he was a journeyman. And then Mike Martz converted him to a receiver after a few years in the league. And the next season, on those 0-16 Lions, on those terrible Matt Millen teams, Mike Furry was the go-to guy. He caught 1,000 yards as a receiver in his 4th year playing the position. And I think that's amazing. And that's the sort of guy you should peg for a position coach and let him have a little voice in those offensive meeting rooms.
Yeah. I don't know how this season's going to go for Matt, because it has that feeling. You're like, okay, we're going to give him one more year. Nick was hurt, and they were on their way, and then they're going to pull this Matt Patricia bull and yank him halfway through the season, and then your franchise is just in a flux of 3 to 4 years, and then it's like, okay, well, let's go get Matt Ryan, and then you ruin Matt Ryan's career. So
yeah, good. You just have to acknowledge the bad decisions as soon as you realize they're bad decisions. Yeah. In football, in life, in careers. That's just good advice. And so bad advice, you can look to the Denver Broncos, my best FOMO of the week. And it's not what you think. It's not because of the COVID. It's not because of the no masks in the quarterback room. Yeah. Because to be fair, we've seen Drew Lock's chin. I don't expect him to be able to wear a mask. So we're good.
It lets too much air in for that. I want to see this picture, though. I need to see this picture of all quarterbacks just hemming and hawing without a mask. I love that.
Nobody else got punished. Like the Titans absolutely did worse things. The Ravens have more infections than anybody else, but somehow they come down on the Broncos because they're somehow like one of the glimmering franchises that matter, but they're out of the playoff hunt. And I think the real thing, my issue with the Broncos, so I'm sure you're a big fan of Hinton, the new quarterback. Wake Forest. Practice squad receiver, put into the starting quarterback position. And he didn't play great, but he played admirably. And the team really respected him. They all dapped him up after the game. And they really made a show of how much his performance meant to them.
Yeah.
He got paid the minimum for that game, and not just the minimum for a player, the minimum for a practice squad player. I think he did more than $35,000 worth of work. These NFL games are worth millions of dollars, and he took on the honors last minute without a single practice snap to do it.
Yeah.
If he's going to be an NFL quarterback, let him get paid like an NFL quarterback for that day. Look, we all know it's going to be the only day, but
I mean, it's like, come on. I hope John Elway pays him out of pocket, just like, hey, here you go, good guy. But $40K, that for not just like waking up and being like, hey, you want to play quarterback? you good? Oh yeah, we don't have time to practice or anything, but you've seen defenses, right? You're good. All right, see you later, bud.
Yeah.
Give him some money. All right.
If nothing else, first impressions matter. So he's probably going to be hindered from getting another job because that performance was so bad. And that performance was so bad, not because of his abilities, because they had no prep. And so I think he might have lost some future earnings off that start. So he should be compensated as such.
No, I don't think so. I think you're getting a guy and be like, oh yeah, if you want, I can punt. I'm not good at it, but I'll do it. If you got one of these guys, because he could have balked and been like, no, like this is I'm going to look bad. And this is not the tape I want with no preseason.
All right.
You know?
Fair. We could get into the weeds on this one, but we're kind of running a little over. We're having too much fun. I'm standing up. I feel like I'm going on tangents like I'm doing comedy again. So this week, first off, we have Bengals at Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 11. I thought the Bengals showed a lot of life.
They had to because because they hurt their number one franchise pick, and the Bengals offense is like, okay, we need to really show this is for Joe and they played some masterful ball, and you gotta give their hats off, but they to have two quarterbacks ready. I was like Brandon Allen, I think he looked good, he looked like he was a competent quarterback. To have two good quarterbacks to come in and step up, just like the Dolphins did with Fitzpatrick and Tua, I think you got yourself a pretty good game.
Yeah, and Tua, I mean, who even knows what that injury is?
Isn't this weird as hell?
They're very quiet.
Yeah.
And they did not make a to-do about Fitzpatrick starting that game.
No, that's what really I'm very concerned about. It's just, yes, you're trying to be cautious. I get that, but why? There's something else. And it's a thumb injury, so it's something that you could maybe rest a little bit more. Yeah.
A little bit of weirdness. I'm still going to give Miami the benefit of the doubt, and I will go with them here. Yeah. So, you know what? I'll be completely honest. The red zone, they showed so much more of the Bengals game than they did of the Dolphins game.
I'm just going with that. No, Dolphins are good. Fitz is still just... I feel bad for them benching because I think it just shows he just wants to play football and he's good at it. Don't bench him. But hey, whatever. Yeah. He gets his time to shine. He gets paid more than the Broncos receiver / QB. So you're in good shape with Ryan.
And the thing that I do know about the Dolphins is I know Xavier Howard is perhaps a special cornerback. He's putting up takeaway metrics that have only been achieved by the greatest who ever played that position. He's kind of hitting marks that only Rod Woodson, Charles Woodson, and Darrelle Revis ever hit. So
they picked a great corner, and you got a defensive minded coach that understands I've been playing with Gilmore for a little bit. So I know what a good cornerback looks like. So he can just dive. Yeah, I think he could just give Brian Flores can give Xavier those oh, hey, remember, I used to have lunch with Stephen Gilmore. So he's taught me a couple things. And to have that type of oh, shit, you coached Gilmore, I think that's such a great bond, especially when you're winning. So it shows that the chemistry, and it just shows that you're pointing the franchise in the right direction.
Absolutely. And Xavier Howard must be the most successful person with that first name ever. Not Xavier, Xavier.
Xavier.
Yeah. There's no university in Ohio by that name. What you talking about, sir? Next game. Oh, Bears. 3-point favorites at the Lions. Lions are a lock here. This is the dead cat bounce, 100%.
Dude, they're gonna be playing music. They're going to be grilling on the sideline. This is just going to be a fun ass game.
It's going to be great. The Lions, they're going to have a family cookout vibe.
No, it's going to be a good time. Yeah, it's going to be a beatdown.
This cookout only happened because the pig left. No, it's going to be a fun Detroit game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if I could have one sports wish for the year, give me a shout out here.
What? Oh, a shutout?
Give me a Lions shutout. Because, dude, Mitchell Trubisky, Matt Patricia is the reason he kept his starting job so long. That dude consistently lit up those defenses. We never stopped him. So now it's not that defense is gone. Take the Lions money line with the under. I am all over this one.
Yeah, I'm totally there. I just want to see that goose egg just so Matt Patricia would just shit his pants.
Oh shit, their final score matches my silhouette. Okay, next game. This line's moved a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's now Browns +5.5 at Tennessee. These are the same team, right? Tennessee's got a better quarterback and receivers. Cleveland has a better defense. These are two of the only teams, shouts to Minnesota, that are predicated on running the football, and they build everything around that.
Yeah. I like if we were talking about the Jags earlier. If you insert any other quarterback, let's say you insert Ryan Tannehill, they would have beat the Browns last week. So with this, this is going to be some home cooking for the Browns just a little bit, because I think they need this win, because last year in the season opener against the Titans, we were thought we just got OBJ, like we were going to fly high, and we stunk it up. So I'm hoping that a lot of those players that are still on the team understand that and want to come out and win. And what I saw from the Browns against the Jags is that, oh, yeah, we're going to do some bootlegs. And it shows that, oh, yeah, we're not going to shy away from it. We're always going to do it. We know we can win with this. And that's just that's success from a team standpoint. Not to have Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward starting QB corner. People are believing they can win on that team.
Yeah, and now we know that Myles Garrett, he had his issues and he missed a couple games.
Yeah.
But we also know that the Titans lost their left tackle a few weeks ago. Taylor Lewan, who's a really good left tackle, like all phase of the game. He's great. And if the Browns can just get up early and make it from behind a little bit, they're able to unleash Garrett in a way where he can just change this game completely. And again, I like that factor. I think this is probably a 3-point spread, and I see it at 5.5. So I love the Browns here.
Yeah, I like it too. I think this is a statement game, and I think they know that, and I think they're ready. I really feel that they're ready to play some football at any time. Like let's line up, let's go.
And, I always shit on the Titans. I don't mean to. I just kind of generally dislike them, whatever.
For sure.
But I got to give some love to their receiving core. A.J. Brown, he's not the best receiver in the league, but every time you pay attention to him, he's kind of shifting the outcome of a game. Incredible.
Yeah, no, he's an incredible asset to Tennessee. And what we see is the different mix to this whole team is that Ryan Tannehill has been the change. That Marcus was not throwing the ball down the field. Whatever weird offensive scheme they had of we're just going to run the ball to show that you have that dimension just gives Derrick Henry so much real estate. So and they're showing up. All the receivers. Corey Davis is having a great year somehow.
Don't do that somehow. Corey Davis was in a harm. He came into the league very young. He came into the league directly from the MAC, and he came into the league playing with Marcus Mariota. But now, as that Titans receiving core is presently comprised, and I'm going to throw Jonnu Smith in there.
Yeah,
they don't just have Derrick Henry. They have physically punishing wide receivers.
Yeah,
there's so much beef in this receiving core. No receiving core in the league has the type of bodies that the Titans do.
No, Jonnu's a lineman.
Yeah, and defenses have to tackle these guys and Derrick Henry all day, and that's why they're putting up points. It's not any Derrick Henry dominance. It's an entire philosophical mindset from the franchise where everyone is trying to do this kind of Chiefs style ball where it's just quick hitters down the field, and they just have freight trains across that offense.
Right. And it's when you say kind of that the Browns and Tennessee are kind of the same teams, they are, because we've always seen that the Browns in the second half, they run harder. It's really not they're running harder. They've been taking that defense and making them take those hits. So then at the second half, you're gassed. You don't want to tackle. So it's just going to be one of those slobber knockers that we're going to see.
Yeah, and I'm praising them, but I gotta say, I think this is a close game just because the identities of these two offenses are so similar.
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
right. Titans have taken off into a different direction, but Hunt and Chubb are as effective for Cleveland as Derrick Henry is for Tennessee.
Totally.
Yeah, they're incredible. And next one, I cannot believe this line. Absolute Wonkville. We have the Colts. It's moved a bit. 3 points favorites at Houston. Colts coming off a terrible ass kicking. Houston coming off one of the easiest offensive performances we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And now the Texans are without Will Fuller. Will Fuller is so important to that offense, and he's suspended for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it again. It's when Fuller has more than six targets, and Deshaun is linking up with him, it's over. Like, they have won the game. Now with no Will Fuller, they just cut Kenny Stills, if I believe so. They're just in bad. That's just bad shape, and it's time for Deshaun to go on vacation. Just let him pack it up. Let him not get hurt. Let's rebuild this defense. It's just bad news now. Like, that's what you didn't need after coming off a great win, like a great team win like that.
Yeah, and I expected the Colts to lose that game against Tennessee yesterday just because of the first time they matched up. The Colts kicked their ass in the second half, and I think they're both really good teams, and they're both playoff teams in my book. And I didn't see anything. One bad week is not going to make me dismiss the fact that I think the Colts, outside of the QB position, are just loaded with talent.
Oh no, yeah, Colts all the way. Yeah,
Colts here. It's kind of an easy week, huh?
A little bit.
Jags at Vikings. I think we've talked enough about each of these teams already. Our opinions on the Jags and Vikings are well surmised. This is a good line. Stay away.
Stay away.
Okay, so we have we focus on those teams. I wanted to get to this one, Brian. I woke up this morning ready to have this conversation.
Oh God.
You. The Jets are 7.5 points against your Vegas Raiders.
Oh, what a shellacking that was against the Falcons. Now I'm just like, who are the Raiders? Like, who are you, bro? That's what I want to know. That was not a good look. I'm just terrified. I was like, okay, let them play KC. They're gonna beat them again. But now you've lost it. Like, this is the game you needed here. This is the game you need if you want to stay in the hunt. And you score 6 points. Like, what is happening? Like, hey, I would say the Falcons are I think they've kind of figured out what they need to win, like defensive on the defense side of the ball, which is great. But the Raiders, like, this is your game. Like, well, that's bad. This is not what a playoff team does.
And that was such a big loss for you in particular. That was absolutely huge for the Browns' season aspiration.
Yeah.
Now if they get to, it's going to be hard for the Raiders to get to 10 wins now. They're at 6 already, but tough from this point.
Tough, yeah.
But yeah, that was a bad Derek Carr game. We know it's there, and I'll also say maybe Raheem Moore deserves that job.
After that one, I'm like, yeah, let's settle up and make sure he gets this job. They're playing for him.
Yeah, they had a rough week against Detroit. After he got the job, they had a collapse, which was funny. But this was supposed to be the least talented defense in the league, and they've been having a lot of fight. They've been getting a lot of ability.
Yeah.
And in that division, I think you're kind of in win now mode, huh?
Yeah.
All the other quarterbacks are 40. Why not run it back? You see a good product there.
Run it back.
Keep Raheem Moore. Keep Julio. Keep Matt. Keep everybody, because
you're so close. You could be so close.
Father Time alone could let you know that you're the division champion next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep everything intact. Falcons, you're so close. You're just so close. Get another running back. Your middle linebackers are great. Corner up, and you got this.
Yeah, and then our next game, we have Saints minus 3.5 points at those same Falcons.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a very good line.
I mean, I'm still, I guess Taysom Hill is winning. But I think the way the Falcons have that played on against the Raiders. It's like, okay, if they can like man the box a little bit and have Taysom like make him throw legit, I think you can hold them and beat them.
Yeah, I think so, because they really ran such a modified offense last week.
Yeah.
Like they ran like, I mean, really, I mean, this is supposed to be the Andy Reid influenced passing league, but on a week-to-week basis, we're seeing coaches take running formations from the 60s and win with them. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and I think this type of offensive operation doesn't always bode well with every team, and you're gonna get figured out.
Yeah, and I'm down with taking the Falcons if it gets to plus 1.5 here.
I love that.
Anything less, a little too shaky for me. I don't feel like I'm getting an advantage.
Yeah,
I don't feel like historically I've had a really tough time, as many people have, betting on the Saints as favorites in divisional games. It's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
So maybe the Falcons, if it breaks our way. Next game on the slate. Ooh, we're playing for a wild card spot.
Ooh.
We have Rams at Cards -1.5.
Rams coming off pretty good. I think they figured out their running game a little bit. I think Kyler Murray he's more hurt than what he says. I think his throwing accuracy is way off.
Well, I was on this last week talking to Geoff Stevens, talking here. The Patriots run the same scheme as the Lions. Kyler Murray's better against good defenses than laid back secondary powered defenses. So when you don't create those those running lanes to the outside and force him to stay back into the pocket and go through his reads, that's where the 5'8" issue becomes a problem.
Yeah, it really showed up.
Yeah.
And there was like a lot of him trying to pump fake to open up that lane, and the Patriots like, no, we're just gonna sit here. Like, that's okay. Keep pump faking. We're just gonna intercept that ball from you. Thanks.
Yeah, and football's a funny game. Like Rams and Cardinals, I know they both lost Sunday, but they did a lot of good things on both sides of the ball, and it seems they had tough breaks after they had seemingly fought back to gain control of the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So this one, don't bet it, but enjoy the hell out of it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
This is as good as a game can be at this point in the season. And I think either of these teams have a shot at winning the NFC. Like, the 7 or 8 seeds. I'm so stuck on that 8 seed. Sorry. The lower seeds in the NFC, like all the defenses at the top of the Seahawks, you can score on them.
Yeah.
The Packers, they've got a couple great talents, but you can score on them.
Yeah.
Saints, they've got a great defense, and their quarterback position might be really weird in the postseason.
Right.
So
your defense hold up, but you still got to score points. So
Rams and Cards are both pretty good chances to win a postseason game. I think they move the ball. They don't have great defenses, but they've got great talents on their defense. I know Isaiah Simmons had a bad roughing the passer that kind of gifted the game to New England yesterday.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We just saw the Rams beat the Buccaneers.
Right. No, they're good. I think they're figuring out their running game. That's the big thing.
Yeah, and I think maybe the Rams here. Maybe it's a year too early for the Cards.
Oh, I think that's just a smart move.
And like when in doubt, who's got the better coach?
Oh, you got McVay. You got to go.
Yeah, you just back McVay in a big game.
He's been there before,
Yeah, and there's still questions about Arizona's coach, Cliff Kingsbury. The scheme works, but I've yet to see him win a game with his game management, and you're gonna need that in the NFC West, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have their best success with another one holding the clipboard.
Well, we'll see with that.
Patriots at Chargers. This is a nice Belichick game here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Patriots have their flaws, but rookie quarterback
win.
It's a 1-point spread. It's basically a pick 'em.
Okay.
And that even favors the Chargers, who have it's Anthony Lynn versus Bill Belichick. It's a rookie facing a Belichick. I know it's the best rookie quarterback ever, But,
Ever?
is it?
Possibly. Rookie season.
Yeah, because Mahomes came in his second year. Rodgers came in on his 8th year. Brady came in like year 3. I mean, who has a better rookie year than Justin Herbert?
I guess altogether, Baker had a pretty good.
No. We're not putting
No. Fine. It's okay. Yes, Herbert has done pretty well. And I think the Patriots, after that win, like against the Cards, they know. I mean, it's a long shot, but I think they're playing like, yeah, we can do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it for Cam.
Patriots football, dog. They're gelling, and you know what? You get number 9 under center next year, Super Bowl bound. And can we just give Eric Bieniemy the Chargers job right now? Is it fair?
It is fair. He probably has key cards and stuff to the facilities, so yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just as football fans, like, give us Bieniemy coaching Justin Herbert. It's the best thing for both of them. I think they'll really bring out the best in each other, and yeah, maybe he's the best candidate out there right now, but
that team would. I mean, they kind of already do mimic the Chiefs, just like running back wise, and you have like Eckler's finally back, and he's one of those pass catching running backs that you need. So they have their receiving core, like
Mike Williams.
Keenan Allen is probably showing like Mike Williams, yeah. Like they're like so happy to have a quarterback that wants to throw it down the field.
Yes, 100%. And they just have so much talent on that roster. None of the open, like, they're underperforming so hard, which is why they're favored in this game. Slightly. But that's a great job. Put Bieniemy there. Come on, guys. In this one, I'll have money on the Patriots for sure.
Yeah.
Broncos at Chiefs.
I guess you have to go Chiefs if there's no no quarterback again.
Yeah, I mean, they might have a quarterback in by that point. I don't
know.
Yeah.
They're going to run it up. So what is it at?
13.5.
Okay, so yeah, 13. They're going to score by 2. They're going to, they're going to win at least by 2. Like that, I think that just makes sense.
And this is our Sunday night game as well, so that kind of stinks. But if it's Sunday night football, we saw a bad Sunday night football game this past week with the Bears. This line's going to move to the Broncos getting more than 2 touchdowns, I think. So I'll probably be on the Broncos, and it's going to suck. I'm going to tell myself to stay away all week.
Please stay away from that.
But during Sunday,
$1 on this.
We know these early slates are wins, right?
Yes.
And so I'm just going to be talking myself into the Broncos all day, and then they're going to lose by 24.
You're going to see it, and you're like, oh God, oh boy. But don't do it. Just stay away. Just stay away.
Yeah, and you know what? Our Monday night game, Bills at the Niners. Niners are 2.5-point dogs. That's a tough line, I've just spent so much time praising the Niners. The Bills looked awesome last week. That's what you want a good team to do. They take care of business against with a horrible record at home.
Yeah, I think the Bills are rolling. They know that the Dolphins are a little bit on their heels. So I think this is kind of, but Kyle Shanahan though, he's a mastermind.
He is, but you know what? I am probably going to take the Bills in this one.
Sacre bleu! I like it.
It's Monday. They're going to see the Dolphins win. They're going to need to keep pace in the division. We do have a couple other games for next week, but we don't have lines. We got a chat from Sam saying the fix was in on the Browns not covering.
I remember texting you because I thought it was just a 3. The line was 3.
Yeah, no, against the Jags it was 7, but Baker made a bad pass, and maybe Baker he's opening a Cleet Blakeman bank account. So.
Yeah, he plays like he's on DraftKings a little bit.
Yeah. So other lines we don't need to really talk about. Washington at Steelers.
Steelers.
Steelers. Giants at Seattle, and then Eagles at Packers.
Questionable. I'm really interested how the Eagles play the Seahawks tonight. That I think that's going to be what we can picture, what we see out of those guys. Because I saw the backup QB is getting reps. He's getting first team reps now.
And it's not just a backup QB; it's Jalen Hurts. He's from Oklahoma. He's from Alabama.
Yeah.
He could be a bigger Lamar Jackson. Who knows?
Baby, we'll see.
I mean, he doesn't have the speed, but he'll go outside and he'll kind of truck people Josh Allen style. And
yeah, we like that.
Yeah, we like that. And then, you know what? We're just talking about Super Bowl bets here. Kind of like the Packers 10-1.
Damn. Aaron Rodgers, he's just so good, right? That man, he just knows how to it doesn't matter. If you have Aaron Rodgers, I think you could just win. Is that how it is?
Yeah, they play that game. They play the same game plan that the Chiefs play and the Seahawks often play, where it's just you try and get the ball last. And it works out for them. And they've got a couple of all-pro level talents at important defensive positions. Shout out Jair. What up, Zadarius? They're doing great. I like them at 4-1 to win the NFC.
Yeah.
I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
And geez. Vikings 28-1.
Whoa.
Who's who?
I don't think the Vikings can do it, but I mean that's a good bet wise. So
they get a healthy Dalvin Cook.
They can go anywhere.
Secondary and like all the because they're just built differently than all the other teams. They're not as good as them. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying all these other teams, they're built through the air, long distance attacks, and playing through a running back. Like they always beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
They destroy. I mean, they don't always beat Green Bay, but they have a great game plan. They're the type of team that does, right?
Yeah.
Those power running teams really give the Packers fits. They fit that mold. And if you get them in a game with a ball hawking secondary against a Brady or a Breeze, I don't like them as much as Seattle or Green Bay, but dang, if I keep finding myself going into on the Vikings. Is that
yeah, it's crazy. Yes, it's a little insanity. But I see where you're coming from, and we've talked about it before. Just with Dalvin, when he's there, it really just changes the offense. And Jefferson is coming on as like a monster, like one of the best rookie seasons I've seen in a long time.
It's this rookie QB receiver class rather is such a gift, and there's even like forgotten guys in it. I mean, Jefferson's the lead dog, and I mean that's a pretty big achievement on its own, given the quality of the Alabama guys who came out.
Yeah.
And then and he's just like precision. Like he can beat you downfield, but he's got a lot of Marvin Harrison in his game.
Yeah. He's a little shifty. I really like him.
He's not making catches in traffic most of the times. He's wide open.
Oh yeah. So that shows that he's great at route running, and that is a game changer, especially if you're in the playoffs. If you can always beat your guy, it's just too easy.
And the Vikings are better than their record because they incorporated so many draft picks. If you get into I know the quarterback kind of sucks sometimes, but a playoff game with a ball control offense and Mike Zimmer. We saw what happened in New Orleans last year.
Yeah.
So 28-1. I mean, that's not a bad place to put $5 right now.
I would say 5. No, nothing more, nothing less. Just 5.
Yeah, I'm going to be backing the other NFC North teams, I guess. So I'll be on I think I can get a better odds on the Packers if I wait.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm just going to wait for people get back on the Tampa Bay bandwagon at another point. So
maybe
Tampa and New Orleans and Seattle, I can get them at high value points.
Yeah, I'm very low on Tampa. So I'm seeing a team that they might be thinking, maybe if we should have kept Jameis.
Is the problem with them really Tom Brady, or is it the fact that they didn't have the secondary to compete with Kansas City. Like if you play a team that's front seven heavy, they're pretty well equipped. So like the Vikings would have a tough time with the Buccaneers all day. Their defense plays into their scheme so well. But, it's just kind of a weird matchup for all these aerial teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see. I am a little rough, but we'll see.
And that's the kind of fun part of having a less than stellar NFC. You could talk yourself into any of the teams winning the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I find myself doing most of the time as a sports fan. I don't analyze the players or the games. I think about where Zach Wilson will be picked and who's going to win the NFC.
Oh, I love it. We'll see.
Well, I had fun cooking up a show with you, Brian.
It was so good cooking it up with you, Joel. We had a good time.
Yeah, well, it was from the Bet Kitchen. This has been TPN The Walk On. We'll be back Wednesday. We're going to have a wild Wednesday with Eli Sayers. Next Monday, we're having I got to talk to you about this. You're going to love it. We have a season-long college basketball. We're going to be covering it in a really fun way. We're going to have I know a couple. Nate Fritzen, he's been on. Allison Klemp,
I love those two.
So we're going to give them each a set amount to start with, and we're going to see who wins over the course of the year.
Love it. Love it.
That'll be fun, right?
Yeah.
In college basketball, it's back, but like there's so much going on right now. The world might be tough, but sports are great, and we're here to talk about in our kitchen to talk about how great sports are.
Oh yeah.
For Brian Allen Mitchell and the Props Network, this is Joel Walkowski walking off. TPN The Walk On. Back soon.
Woo.